I'd like to ask y'all if you would to let the video play all the way through, if you don't mind. YouTube has had us censored bad here lately, and the algorithm, I don't know, we can't get into the algorithm for some reason, and they've just had our videos buried. And they claim by letting the videos play all the way through that it really helps. So if y'all would do that, I would sure appreciate it. Hello everybody, welcome back to Burnt Church. I hope everybody's having a good day. Y'all can probably see the sun coming through the window there. It's a pretty day here, real pretty, making me want to be out in the garden. I need to do an update on some of our seed starts that we've done back a little bit earlier with the electroculture. That may be a video coming out here just pretty quick. It's probably around 50, 55 outside, feels real nice. Now it was cold this morning, probably around 30, 32 degrees, but it's nice out there now. We hadn't made any puzzle frames in a while. And she's got at least 3 waiting on me, and one other one that's going to be a pretty rough one to build. But I think these are going to be a little bit different here today. And it's probably going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's going to be something different. You probably haven't never seen anybody make one the way that we're fixing to make this. This here is what we're going to try to make it out of. It's going to be a pretty big frame. These is going to be about 2 foot by about 18 inches is what the puzzle measures. Now I've got 2 pieces of this old cedar here. And they're a little different in size. This one here is the first cut off the piece of cedar. And it's just a little heavier and bigger than this other one. And I don't know how we're going to make them go together. I hadn't really decided that yet. I've seen them cut with 45s and put together. And I've also seen them louped over each other like that. I don't really know yet how we're going to do it. First thing we're going to do is get these stobs sawed off of it. I could use a skill saw, but I'm probably not going to. Probably just going to use our hand saw to knock these off. Anybody that's new here, I'd like to ask you to hit the subscribe button. It would sure help us out a lot. And also, please don't forget, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, either one. Whichever one you want to do, and we could sure use your support. I done sawed 1 or 2 of them off right here. Them little limbs is hard as a rock too. I think the first thing we're going to try to do is just try them in this vise here and see if it'll hold them while we cut these off. I don't know what this saw is actually called. I call it a jam saw. But it does pretty good. It's from Harbor Freight. I would like to have a better one of them to just see if it would be any sharper. But this one right here does pretty good. This saw's got 2 sides to it. It's got this one coarse and then that one fine side. I've split them in half, or as close to half as I could get. And what I've done in the past has ripped them straight down this edge down through here. That way you have a straight edge to butt against your saw. That way you can cut 45s and stuff pretty easy. But I'm trying not to do that on these. I'm trying to use them completely rounded over like this. I don't know, we're going to see how it goes. These 45s is probably going to be hard to match. Oh yeah. Y'all know I've got that vacuum system. You remember how loud it usually is whenever I turn that on? Watch this. It's not near as loud now. I done an upgrade the other day. I moved the vacuum outside. I know you can hear it some. That's just where it's coming through these vacuum hoses here. And it seems like it's got a lot more vacuum to it. I took the bag and stuff off of it and I'm letting it blow out on the ground out there. Seems like it's got a lot more power. Right here is how I decided to get my angle. I'm using the workbench to make my 90-degree turn here. Lining the outside edge of my frame up with the workbench on both ends. That cut looks pretty good right here right now. I think that's how we're going to have to do it. This one here, I had to turn the miter saw on more than a 45 to get it to fit this piece. But it's still a right angle. Or at least we hope it is. I think this has come out just about perfect with this edge of this board down through here. So I should be able to line my next piece up right with this edge and get our scribe on it. Looks like everything's fitting good over here. Well, now if we can get this one to fit as good as that one, we'll be halfway done with our cuts. Let me cut this and see if it's going to fit. That's following that pretty good. And the cut looks pretty good. So I think we're done with this end. We've got them somewhat fitted together. Now these are not going to be perfect like you can take a piece of flat lumber and cut 45s and make them fit. I was trying to get them to fit this way. The thicknesses of them is going to be a little bit different. But I think we can deal with that. It's supposed to look kind of rustic anyway. I'm going to screw it together right quick. Now I'm not going to glue it right now. I'm running short of time this evening. And it's about time for us to leave. So I'm going to put it together with some screws right quick before we can hold it up and just see what it looks like. I've already pre-drilled a hole right in this one right here. Now I'm not going to sink them in right now. Before I do that, I'll countersink them and I'll probably put a plug in there to hide the screw. Once we get this thing ready to put together completely, I'm going to put glue on the joints. I went ahead and glued it and let it set for a little while. I think it's pretty dry now. And I also notched the back of it out. But now what we need to do is cut these 45s off that are sticking out a little bit. The reason these 45s are sticking out some is this is a wider piece than that. And that's about the only thing I know to do with them, is just to cut them off. And then we'll see what that looks like. This is a learning curve. I've built stuff, but it's been a long time ago out of scrap like this. And when you don't have a straight edge to work with, it makes carpentering work a lot harder. I think that helped the looks of it. I've got screws in here and I've countersunk them. I got a piece of dowel here somewhere. We've still got this dowel left from upgrading the drill press. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. That's upgrading the drill press, I think was the name of it. But this dowel, we're gonna put them in the hole right there and cut them off slick. I'm gonna put just a little bit of glue on these plugs. That got it cut off pretty slick. I should have used cedar plugs. They would have matched them knots. Oh well, I don't have a cedar dowel rod right now. That's a walnut one that we're using. Well, that got our plugs in there. We're done now with it. All we need is the glass for it. So, some of y'all give this a try. It's a little different when you go to working with something round like this. Things don't match and fit together like they should. Well, this is the finished product. I think it turned out looking pretty good. It fits the picture pretty good. It's an old-timey looking picture. This is our next one we got to build a frame for. My wife, she finally got it put together. This was a really hard one to do. I helped her some with it. I showed it in a video here a while back. We were working on it. But that's the frame we got to build next. Now I can't follow that, so our frame will be square. We'll just probably have to put some felt or something behind the puzzle to show. Here's a few of the different frames that we've built. That one there is out of cherry. It's got walnut pegs. And this one here is out of walnut. This one's out of cedar. This one, it's out of maple. And this one here, it's out of cedar. I thank you for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.